What's going on, you guys? It is your boy Big Hence, and thank you for staying tuned for another DC Universe Online video. And today we'll be going over a 2026 DC Universe Online Atomic DPS video. But before I go any further, I would like to thank you guys so much for being patient, as I did state last week that I will post 2 videos within the same week. But honestly, I had a little complications that I didn't really know what to do. So for example, I had 3 different ideas. I had a Atomic DPS loadout video, which would be a 2-parter because we have a single target and obviously we have an AoE. Then I had another idea for battle tank. I had another idea for actual tanking. It was just so many ideas I had in mind during that time. But that is no excuse, and I do apologize yet again for being so late with this video. If I make an expectation, I want to be able to follow through no matter what, honestly. So with that being said, I'm going to give you guys a run through for this video. This is only a single target. This is not for AoE, though I can say with the setup, if you want to be flexible, there are a combination of AoEs within the rotation that'll really showcase how amazing it can be. But in my honest opinion, if you guys really want to do something more AoE, I will work on that video. But if you guys want that, give me at least 200 likes. It will let me know that you guys really enjoy my content and you want to see more videos from me. And obviously, because you guys want to see part 2, which is like, hey, you gave us a single target, you might as well give us an AoE, right? So yeah, that's not a problem, but please give me at least 200 likes. I got to get that. For the past videos, I had over 1,000 views, 2,000 views, and honestly, 200 likes is really not a lot. So if you guys can really just spare the time to just hit the like button, subscribe and follow, it will really motivate me to do more content. But with that being said, let's get on to the video so we can break down what is in this loadout. Alright, so as you can see in my inventory, I have mostly all elite gear besides the omnipotence for the helmet and the belt. We have the transformation card, which obviously is for crits. Then we have the solar amplifier. I know that it's not maxed out or anything like that, but I'm technically playing DC on a budget. But the goal is to get this maxed out so we can have the empowered channeling. And obviously you have the burst AoE that gives damage over time once the enemies take the burning effect. But honestly, we are here for the empowered channeling, which will go a long way for this loadout to help out with anything like getting the toughness, or not toughness, but getting the defense. I think it's just 5%. And yeah, 5% defense. And also it allows you to be invulnerable to crowd controls. Then the next thing we have is the Dead King Scepter. Yes, I know a lot of people are against it, but I do use it a part of my main DPS loadout. I use it mainly to get the increased damage for the orbital, but at the same time reduce the cooldowns of a lot of my trinkets, my pets, and obviously my orbital strike. So the next thing we have is Omega Totality. For the most obvious reason, it is literally one of the most meta. And then we have Sinestro Corrupted Power Ring. But even though the artifact isn't maxed out, for being at least 160, even though it shows 170, it's quite powerful. So the next thing we have here is the House of Legend bot, which basically does more damage towards bosses. And then we have Starfire. If you use your weapon buff, you get increased might. And we use the Batman Who Laughs for a chance to have the critical card to give you more crit chance. So next will be the mod sockets. For the weapon, I use the Ultimate Blast adapter to give yourself a good AoE, obviously extra damage. Then for the helmet, we got the Critical Atom Power Assault 3 for the 2% crit chance. And for the necklace, we have the Escalating Might 5 for the 2% might. And for the back, for help with the supports, we got Breakout Protection to give us a little defense once we break out of like stuns or knockdowns or anything like that. Then the next thing we have is the chest socket for penetrating strike to ignore 2% of the enemy's defense. The next one we have is ultimate critical prowess for the extra 2.5% crit chance. The next thing we have is tumbler master, obviously for you to get out of certain situations a little bit better. Then for the gloves we have empowered channeling for you to have 5% defense while you're channeling your abilities, and you have a certain form of immunity to crowd controls. So for the henchmen, I used the ON tactical assault for the raging knight buff to increase all outgoing damage, and the buff only lasts for 10 seconds, but the final damage boost will be 10%. Alright, with that being said, I will now go on to the next part of the video. Will literally showcase the DPS rotation. I hope you guys enjoy.
Trace though.